Okay, so Half-Life 2 is the worst game I have ever played. And this is coming from a Half-Life fan. This is coming from somebody who's grown up with the game. But when it comes to the base game, it just is terrible. It's the story. What story? There is no story in this game. It's just go to the nearest door, climb the nearest ladder, break a crate, fight waves of enemies, and move on to the next waypoint. There's zero variation in the gameplay. We have 3 boss enemies in the game, if you can even call it that, 2 of which are exactly the same, and the antlion is just basically a bullet sponge. He has no sort of variation in terms. You don't even have to use strategy when fighting him. It's just circle around him, shoot him as many times as you possibly can. And since the AI in the game is so bad, it's rather easy to beat the bosses. I couldn't even finish this game. It was so boring. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you when I'm making this review, because I couldn't even finish the game. I got towards, I believe, the prison part of the game. At least that's what the map's called. I got towards the prison part of the game, and it was just boring. I was like, why am I even playing this? Why am I even playing this game? And looking on clips on YouTube, you can see why I made the right decision, because the game ends on a huge cliffhanger. They basically sold you a quarter of the game. The entire game basically plays as like one giant intro level. It's just so remedial in terms of strategy. It's so remedial in terms of, and the game is just, each level just operates as a maze. Each level just operates as a maze where everything's just clumped together. There's too much stuff going on in each level. Sure, it's fun to explore, but when you design your level as if it's a puzzle, but really the puzzles are just so easy. Like, seriously, the puzzles in this game are just so easy. The puzzles in this game either revolve around a freaking ladder, events, or a valve. They're not puzzles, or they just require you to stack crates or put crates under stuff. That's really the extent of the quote-unquote puzzles in this game. They're really not even puzzles, and the playtime of this game is pathetic. It's pathetic. I mean, it takes you no less than, I'd say, 4 hours to beat the entire game. If you actually know what you're doing, it's going to take no less than 4 hours. And it's insane how people are saying this is the game of the year. This is one of the best games of all time. How?